Hey, I'm Kev, and welcome to my first recap of the challenge of free agents. And let's get started with this new challenge. So first of all, we get intros of some of the players. Everybody's speculating what kind of challenge is it gonna be: a pair, a team, individual, what? And then they finally tell them that it's free agents and that it is an individual challenge, but every time they have a challenge, they won't know if it's gonna be if that this challenge is gonna be a partner, a team challenge, or an individual. So they don't know nothing until they get to the challenge. So there's gonna be three spots. Third place is gonna get $50,000. Second place is gonna get $35,000, and first place is gonna get $125,000. So then finally TJ is done and they get to the house, and the house, let me tell you, it is so freaking cool. I am in love with this house. This is the best house that the challenge has ever had. And just like TJ said, it is such an important season. Why? Because it is the 25th season of the challenge. Jasmine wants to be the whore of the house because she is single and she's never been single in any challenge. And then Leroy does not like the format of this challenge because they have the draw, which even though you don't get picked to go to elimination, if you lose that day's challenge, you don't know if you're going to elimination until the day of the elimination, and it's just all random. If you get lucky and don't get the kill card, you are safe. If not, there's nothing that can save you except your luck, and I think that's just the greatest thing ever. So and then we have a little bit of flirtiness from Justin and Jessica, and Dustin has said that him and Heather are no longer together, but they made a pact that he would not hook up with anybody in this season. So finally they get the first clue, which Devin read, and we kind of get a hint that it's going to be in Heights. So we get to the challenge. And the first challenge name is called Out on the Ledge. Oh, I totally forgot to mention that they're in Punto del Este, Uruguay. And I think it's hilarious how TJ pronounces Uruguay and Punta del Este, which is so funny. But anyways, they're in the tallest building in all of Uruguay, or Uruguay, and they are gonna do this challenge. So this is a team's challenge. There's gonna be two teams. First, there's gonna be three phases to this whole challenge. It is a time event. So the first phase is getting the first third of the team up the stairs, which is 76 sets of stairs, 76 or 79 floors, and they have to get this key over to one person, which is all the way in the top. That person is gonna get the key and get the key to the other people that are gonna do the phase two, which is a puzzle. With that key, they're gonna open the puzzle and they're gonna start doing the puzzle. When they're finished, they're gonna get a key and they're gonna give it to the final third group of the team, and that team is going to, in the edge of the building is going to be a little trunk, and they're going to have to balance to get a flag and ring a bell, and that's the challenge. So randomly selected out of a bag the two captains, a girl and a guy. The first one, well, the girl captain of this challenge is going to be Naya, a rookie from Real World Portland. The guy that is going to be the captain for this challenge, and that these two people are going to be choosing the teams, is Chet. So in Naya's team, Naya chooses Jordan, Laurel, CT, Anissa, Kahara, Nani, Bananas, Devin, Johnny, Jessica Swift, Jasmine, and Preston. And its Chet's team is Camilla, Frank, Cara Maria, Zach, Johnny, Dustin, Teresa, Isaac, Jimmy, Leroy, Emily, and Brandon and Latoya. So Chet's team is gonna be the red team, and then they get together and they're separating the people on the different tasks they have to do. So in the black team we have Jessica, who is actually afraid of heights, but actually stepping up to do the ledge and getting the flag and ringing the bell. And Jordan is not letting her, but she's like, let me do it, I'm volunteering, if nobody's gonna do it, I'm gonna step up and do it. And I'm like, that is what she came here to do. She is a competitor. I am loving her attitude. And while the red team is basically right like that, they get where the people are gonna go and what each people is gonna do. So then the challenge starts, and first they have to get. Oh wait, did I mention that these people are gonna be chained together while running up the freaking stairs? The challenge starts and it is chaos right from the start. Everybody's pushing, they're shoving. It's just a whole chaos, and they try to get on the top. And I can see Johnny, well, Banana's face is actually really tired, really frustrated. And there's a point in where Frank is in the front of the line, and so was Johnny for his team and Frank for his team. So Frank takes the lead, and Johnny just grabs Cara Maria and starts like taking her in a chokehold. And I feel really bad for Cara Maria. I know it is strategy from Johnny, but he could have done this with a guy. So it is just chaos. So the red team gets to the top first, and they get their clue, and they're working on their puzzle, while the red team is actually blocking the door for them to not get past the door. And Swift is like, you know what, this is not happening on my clock. And he goes and jumps over all these people, and that's when Latoya hits her head in with the door, I think it is. And he gets the key, he goes up there, and the guys doing the puzzle for the black team finish first, which the red team had an advantage, a time advantage, but the black team just killed it. And then finally, Emily from the red team makes it happen, and they get their puzzle done. And at this point, the black team is on the lead. And at this point, poor Latoya is just beaten down. She is on the floor. Her shirt is ripped. She has scars. Her eyes are going places, different places. And she is just out of it. And she really does look bad. And they take her to the hospital. And that's how we get to the final phase, which is the ledge. So, first up is Devin. She cannot do it. Then we have Brandon, who was actually pretty great at it, and he fell down, but I thought he was gonna get it. And then Jessica comes, and Jessica is just so afraid, and this is a time event, and she is spending a whole bunch of time thinking about what she's gonna do, and everybody's screaming at her, and Jordan is just getting frustrated. And there's a point where Jordan is like, Jessica, this is a time event, and Jessica's just struggling to this. And I liked what Jessica said, and Jessica's like, you know, you're right, Jordan. This is a time event. So she goes at it, and she is going, and she's freaking afraid, and she grabs it. And I gotta mention, I love all these freaking slow-mos. She grabs the flag, and she hurries her ass all the way throughout. She rings the bell, and she is done. And everybody and herself, everybody is so surprised. I'm actually happy for her. I'm surprised. This is the kind of stuff that I would really like to see in this challenge. So then we have Dustin trying to do this, and he cannot do it. And then we have Jordan, and I don't know at what point Camila goes up, but Camila, everybody's relying on Camila because she is just a crazy one, and she can do no wrong. And Camila goes and does it, and her time is way better than Jessica's time. And at this point, they're a head to head, and then Jordan is up and Jordan falls down, and then here comes and Kahada does it, and Kahada gets the flag and he finishes it. So all this relies on Jimmy, and she is the last person to do this for the red team, and if she does it and she does it in a good time, her team wins. But she fails to do it, so the black team is officially the winner, even though we still don't know who the winner is. And then finally, TJ says the black team is the winner, which was pretty obvious. And the the black team has to choose one girl and one guy to go up for elimination. So then Latoya comes back from the hospital that day at night, and she says she was just dehydrated and she hit her head, but she's gonna be fine. And at this point, everybody's, even me, is saying that she's just a weak person. She cannot handle herself. She died on the stairs. So in the deliberation, Laura is saying, let's go right now, the first round for the easy. Latoya is a rookie, and let's get rid of Chet because he was not a good captain, this and that. And there's some argues between Jordan and Johnny wants to do something else. And I think Johnny is, I feel something different in this challenge about Johnny. I think he's playing a little bit more scared just from the first episode. And then the deliberation comes, and they come to the decision that is Latoya, but then they start voting, and Emily's name comes up, and there's a whole bunch of people's names coming up, and at the end it's Latoya, and then for the guys it's Chet. They start with Chet, and then they start going with Dustin, and I'm like, Dustin would be the better choice because he is a well-rounded player, and there's names thrown everywhere, and at the end Chet is the one that is going in. Half of the house is packing their bags because they don't know who else is going up for elimination. They get to the battlegrounds, I think it's called, and in the elimination they are getting ready to they're gonna pick a card, they're gonna flip it over. If they have the skull, that's the kill card, and if it's bling, they are safe. And at this point, the first one up is Cara Maria. She gets saved, and then so on, so on, so on, and then the first person to get this is Jimmy. And then for the guy, and Frank got the card. So we have Frank versus Chet, and Camilla, Jimmy versus Latoya. And at this point, I'm like, Frank is gonna win and Jimmy's gonna win. So they're gonna play balls in, and we've seen this. So the basic thing is you gotta get your ball into the little basket, but the other person is gonna be defending. So there's this little circle, and if the ball goes out of the little circle, or your body gets out of this little circle, you're out, and that point is done. So they're gonna play 5 rounds. So the first up is the guy. Chet is playing offense, and Frank is playing defense, and the ball goes to the other side because they wrestle. It was just a lost ball. Now Chet is playing defense, and he grabs Frank from from his arm, and he's just pushes him away. But I don't know in what point he hits his chin, and he is bleeding, and it is just so much blood. And at this point, he can either get the stitches right now and go to the hospital, or finish the game and then later get stitches. And he decides he should get the stitches and let Frank win and forfeits. And I think that is the best idea too, because you can get infected, and plus if you get stitches, you won't be able to do the other challenges, and probably production's gonna kick you off. So it's just the same thing. So at this point, he forfeit. Yeah, and I totally understand where he is coming from. I totally respect and get the decision. And Chet is the first guy eliminated and free agents. So then it is time for the girls, and at this point nobody has hope for Latoya. So they start off, and Latoya goes and just runs and makes the point, and I'm like, this what? Like this? I was surprised. And they keep doing it, and I mean Latoya is doing this. She is the underdog. She is the rookie. Everybody. She has none of the house. None of the players are rooting for her. And at this point, I actually wanted Latoya to win because she's a rookie and she needs to prove herself. Even though I had no hopes for her. But damn, she freaking killed it. She was like wrestling Jimmy. She was on top of her. She was under her. She was, taking her. She was wrestling, and Latoya ends up winning by 1 point the the whole elimination, and just like that, Jimmy's gone. Last challenge, she was in third place, and this challenge, she's the first one gone. Something I have to add is that I really loved that Jimmy did not underestimate Latoya. Mad props to Jimmy. She did such a great job, but sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and she took it as it is, and I respect her way more than I did. You know what? I really enjoyed Jimmy. I really wanted to see Jimmy and to see what she really had to offer by herself, but I'm totally glad that Latoya won because she's just the underdog and she proves herself, and I want to see her again, and now I'm actually excited to see her in the challenge. MVPs of the first, Jessica is my first MVP, then Latoya, and I gotta get a little bit credit to Swift because he is being a good rookie, jumping over these guys. I think those are my three. That is it for this episode. Thanks for watching. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and all that stuff. And comment if you like. So see you later, alligators, and bye bye.